have the feeling sometimes when I'm sharing about this and how it affects my life, that it's more than just me speaking, that it's just I don't know, it feels like I'm tapped into something else, something bigger than me. So it is me, but sometimes the words they just come from a bigger place.
Oh, what you said is absolutely perfect, because that's exactly what a clear before and after, that's the essence of it. It's not us it's like, I'll give you an example. If I go back 30 years, now I'm on a spiritual journey for 40 years, and I go back 30 years and I pray every day, and I always said, let me do your will. I was not being very honest with myself. I didn't want to give up the assets I had. I didn't want to give up the money I made. I didn't want to give back what I have. Okay. So I really wasn't honest. I really didn't understand what I want to do your will. Now I come forward all these years later, after practicing this for over 20 years, and I say, it's not so much that I'm giving up something if I'm doing God's will. It's that all that other stuff doesn't matter. What really matters is that absolute, unmistakable difference when I am consciously present versus when I'm in my compulsive, repetitive thinking mind. And just like you said earlier, what comes out isn't something I can do without having some level of connection with God's spiritual energy. So that's God at work in you, Stephen. And it's always so simple. What they say is so simple, right?
Right.
Thomas Merton, he says, when you experience that you're supported by God's love, you immediately feel worthy of love. That one sentence is like, that's life-changing in itself. All we got to do is bring in stillness so we can actually experience what he's talking about.
And when you find that God loves you, when you really experience that, it gives you permission to love yourself.
Yep. If all of us could get what you just said, Jim, the world would automatically be changed.
because it can't stop there. Love is a force. It can't be contained. So it moves outward, and what you find out, if you're going to do love, you're not in control because it wants to love everybody.
Yep.
It doesn't want to exclude anyone. And that's the part, like you said earlier, when you say, I want to do God's will. Well, you want to be like God, John said, then love your enemy, or Jesus said, then love your enemy.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, wait a second. But you can't control it.
Put the brakes.
No, you can't put the brakes on if you're really falling into love. It's impossible. So that's the clear before and after for me, Jim, is that in my head, I can think, well, no, I'm not going to love that SOB. But as soon as I fall into the breath, the stillness, I experience that falling away.
Yeah.
And it's a really amazing thing. Like the quotable part, in a way, Gene, is me looking at my life and going, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah. There's that kind of expansiveness in me.
Yeah.
It's like a surprise it still is every time. And Jim and I talk about this. It's the humbling. It just humbles you all over. You can't claim it like I'm such a loving guy. It's because it's coming from a place that belongs to everyone, really belongs to everything.
Yeah.